Hey, how's it going, guys? So we already did our test drive on my 2004 C5 Corvette. This is a manual, and it has all stock suspension except for sway bars. It has Hotchkiss sway bars, which are not quite as firm as a C6 Z06, but the back sway bar has an adjustable link that you can make it stiffer. So I have it on the middle setting, and that's the sway bar. On shocks, it's got all OEM. My car has 90,000 miles on it. I've driven it about 60,000 miles the past 3 years, and the shocks are totally shot. There's no cushion. It just, as soon as it flexes down, it pops right back up, and it's jarring the car. So we'll do a little review on these Bilstein. Did some checking on the forums, and these are a great alternative little step up from the C6 Z06 shock. I know the C6 Z06 shock are almost half the price, but I'm told that aftermarket German technology, it's just a better quality shock. So I'm going to push it down a little bit. I'll show you guys. It doesn't take much pressure to push it, but it's about, I'm going to say to push that down, it's about 18 pounds, maybe 20 pounds, that's it. And there's very little play in the shock. It's very, feels perfect. Feels like it's not going to be stiff, not going to be soft, just right. Let me do the other one. This one feels a little bit softer, just a teeny bit once you get it going. All right, let's install these babies. All right, we just got this thing out. And it was actually pretty straightforward, just 22mm bolts on each side here. It's real easy to get to down here underneath. You hold one, you can hold it with a open-ended or adjustable. The other one you use a socket on, piece of cake. Up top, you just got two little bolts that go up here. I used the penetrating oil. They came off real easy. They were probably torqued down like 20 pound-feet, which is nothing. And from the GM factory, I'm going to say that these little guys, they did have, I think, a light blue Loctite. So you're going to want to put that on when you reassemble the shocks so the vibration doesn't come loose. We're going to go out, grab the Loctite. We're going to take this hardware off, put it on the fresh shock, and we'll be ready to go. So there's your comparison. Look at the thickness of that metal compared to that. And this shock is a little lighter. No, they're almost the same weight. They're about the same weight. This is just a lot beefier and solid. To be continued. Just put our shock back in. We use tie straps. Very easy process. The shock doesn't have much resistance at all. And now we're just putting our hardware up top. You'll see up in here. We're going to thread this guy in. So this guy goes right in here. Right back in there. We have our whole new assembly on, and we're going to show you in more detail on the other side. So we're using our Loctite, we're good to go. We'll see ya. Well, everything went really smooth putting on the hardware. The hardware is all pretty much self-explanatory. You just want to match it up with the old setup. I think there's a little more cushion depth with the hardware on the Bilstein, so you have a little more cushion in the bracket that hooks up into the car. Only other thing, this takes an Allen wrench, which is nice. Everybody's got a long Allen wrench. You don't need a special tool, none of that silliness. So that's a nice little upgrade, nice metric piece. And other than that, it's just all basic tools. I mean, there's nothing real special. There's nothing dangerous about doing this. Everything's really easy. It's going smooth as silk. The only thing I'd say is just make sure you use Loctite on some of the stuff. On this, you don't need it. It's the hardware they give you. They have the black, the plastic back out protection. So it's the bolt's not just a regular bolt. It's got the safety plastic so it doesn't back out. And that's basically it. I mean, these shocks so far, everything's a breeze. Yeah, no complaints at all. We wrapped up the rear shocks. They went real smooth. They took about, I would say, half hour a corner. It's really easy. It's just with the thread lock, cleaning the wheel wells, cleaning the tires while they're off, you know, you just want to do extra cleaning and stuff like that, so it takes extra time. But if you had this on a lift and stuff, you could wrap off each corner in about 20 minutes flat. Just mere child's play when you got the tools. But boom, come on in here, we'll show you the front. You can see where I put the penetrating oil. I'll point to it right there. That's the bolt we're taking off right there. And we're taking off this one over here. We're coming right up here with the, yep, right there. You see that bolt and that? We should be able to fit in the tool, no problem. Let's do it. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap her up here. We just got the front shock put on. A little bit of a stickler. You're definitely gonna wanna use some tie straps. It's the old shocks, when they go bad, they actually sometimes get a little harder to compress, so it's a stickler on this front end. So definitely get your tie straps. You can muscle it if you're strong, but it's pretty tough. Watch the wires and stuff, the speed sensor, stuff like that. You're gonna wanna watch that. You can pull something out by accident, so be careful. Come on over here, we're gonna go ahead and put in our hardware. This is our bushing that comes with the kit. Just goes right down on top here, just like so. Throw ahead our plate on top. And now all we do is thread her up. We're all wrapped up here, and it took us about, I'm gonna say 5 hours. We went really slow, did our due diligence, we cleaned the wheels, we put silicone spray all inside the wheel wells, we put metal protector on all the ends of the bolts so they don't rust. So we really went super duper slow. We didn't have a lift. With a lift, lithium tools, and you have all the tools right there, you could do this in 1 hour and 18 minutes if you're a professional without breaking a sweat. But with us, we took our time, we're on our knees, we're using knee pads. You want knee pads if you're gonna do it on your knees. And you know, it's worth cleaning it up and doing the extra due diligence. So we really appreciate you. And if you have any questions at all, just give me a call, but we're gonna be test driving it tomorrow. All right, we'll see you guys. All right, so we're gonna do a little second gear throttle push. We're gonna see how quickly the weight goes back. Ready? So I'm gonna hit the gas again a little bit. So there's a lot of tilt back, and the tilt back is really fast. Now I'm gonna hit the brakes a little bit. So a lot of nosedive. I know that's a lot of the spring rates, but still it should get not as fast. It shouldn't dip as quick. So that means it should be more stable. Now we're gonna do a little swerving a little bit. We're going 40 miles an hour. I have Hotchkiss sway bars. So there's very little body roll. So it should be interesting to see the difference once they're on. Go ahead and do a driveway here, and we'll do the same exact driveway once we get the shocks put on. Here we go. We're making a right-hand turn up into a driveway. All right, that was a right-hand turn. Now we're gonna hit a speed bump, and we're gonna do it completely straight. And we're at idle. Here we go. All right, and we'll do that same exact turn and speed bump later, so you can see how quick, how much the new shocks are gonna suck up. All right, we'll see you guys back once we have the shocks on. Time to go ahead and wrap everything up here. Shocks are on. I would say the scale of 1 to 10, the difficulty is about a 7. The tools are simple, but you do have to have a second set of hands, or you're gonna have to take off extra parts. But yeah, everything went really good. And car just drives a whole lot smoother. I drove it last night, and it's definitely a big difference. So we'll do a little braking thing here. You'll feel, let's see here. So the transitions are very slow. So when you hit the brakes, it doesn't dive quick. It just slowly sinks in. So everything happens slower, more controlled. And now we'll do a little second gear roll on like before. So here we go. I'm just gonna roll down at 35. it doesn't, it just doesn't jump back as quick. And you have more feel. There's a lot more feel when you do hit the gas. You can feel the suspension up front. Instead of it just letting the front end go up and the back end sink, the front end slowly goes up and the back end slowly sinks. So it's just a more balanced, more controlled feel. And I would say these shocks are a little more geared towards luxury ride. These are the heavy-duty Bilstein shocks. And let's see here, we'll do a little bit of swerves. Everything feels really good. Feels really just slow to start to sink or twist. So it just kind of slows all your body movements down and just makes it feel a lot. Probably the best way to describe it is it feels slower. So even though the car has the ability to go faster over ribs and you can handle bumps at higher speed now, it actually feels like you're going slower because everything's so settled, it's planted, and there's just very little vibration because of the polyurethane bushings and stuff with this kit. They're thicker than OEM, so you not only do you have less vibration because of that, but you have a better shock tower's thicker, and it just goes on and on. So is it worth 430 bucks? 100%, it's definitely worth the money. So we're gonna make our right in here, same drive, very smooth. And then we're gonna hit our speed bump over here. Let's see here. Yeah, the one's right there. I think it was over here, the one we hit the speed bump at idle in first gear, same as last time. We're just idling in first gear. Here we go. That was a flat speed bump. Now we're gonna do one that's a little bit thicker. Here we go, we're just idling. Very calm. This one, about the same height. And now up here we got a speed bump that's super high. This one you'll bottom out on if you hit this fast. And I'm at stock height, so I'm gonna hit this at idle again. Here we go. This one's pretty aggressive. So you get a little bit of a bump, but as soon as you're off the bump, the car settles down immediately. So really impressive. All right, closing notes here. Definitely recommend doing the Bilstein heavy-duty shocks for a C5, C6. If you have any questions at all about the AMSOIL products, we used metal protectant, and we also used our silicone spray on some of the wires, and we're going to go over some of those products right now. To throw in these two little updates, the only unique tools you're going to need is a 5/16 socket. That's what I used on the big bolt on the rear, and then I used just an adjustable wrench on the rear to hold the other nut when you tighten them both. And then the other unique tool you need is a standard shock tower tool. This holds the center, and then this holds the nut around it. Notes, we're all wrapped up here, and everything went smooth. I would give the challenge level about a 7 out of 10 on doing this, especially if you're on your knees and you're doing it in your garage. If you're doing it on a lift, it's really easy, especially if you have someone to help you. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was really good, definitely worth the money. 430 bucks for the shocks. And then even if you paid someone $300-400 bucks to have them put on, it would still be worth it compared to OEM. I just want to brush over some of the products here. I'm an independent AMSOIL dealer. We use this the most. This is MP Metal Protector. And what that is it's a penetrating oil, and that penetrates rusted screws. It protects all different types of metals, all the way down the list of all types of metals. Right here we got our heavy duty metal protector. what this is a really heavy-duty red. It's a little bit thicker, and you actually let it sit for about 12 hours. And this protects the underside of lawnmowers, all kinds of underside of vehicles that get extreme salt and all kinds of water and moisture. So if you have any metal fittings inside your wheel wells, you're going to want to hit it with this. My lug nuts, I put this on the lug nuts and all the studs, so none of that gets corroded. Definitely an incredible product, and this lasts years just for one application. It'll use our silicone spray. So all the wires and connectors in the wheel wells, after I cleaned them, what I did is we sprayed all those little connectors, and that keeps moisture locked out, and it also keeps the rubbers moist, and it keeps a coating on them. This silicone spray is unlike any silicone spray I've ever used. When you spray it on, it has a really, really unique shine to it, and I'll show you. Come here, come on over. Take a look at this. So we sprayed this spot here with the silicone spray. We sprayed right here about, I'm gonna say, a week ago, and we're out here in Vegas. It's very dry, and this has like a shiny coating on it. You'll see that. Most of these get faded. This is a 2011 Honda Accord, and just amazing the way this stuff puts a film on plastics. So really give this a try. It's like you're gonna be, what the heck, I've never used silicone spray like that. And if you want to order any products, go ahead and call the 1-800 number right here. You can use my dealer number as well, which is right here. And if you have any questions on technical support, call the 1-800 number. We give recommendations out of Superior, Wisconsin on any application, whether it's hydraulic fluid, brake fluid, motor oil, transmission fluid, all the way to all our sprays. We have probably about 130 products. A lot of people think AMSOIL is just motor oil. It's many other things, and the quality level is a 9 out of 10 or above on basically every single product. And you'll see that as you try them. And that's what got me into becoming an AMSOIL dealer, is the quality. So if you guys have any questions, you can also give me a call. My best reach phone number is 702-472-3614. And I really appreciate you guys watching the review. And we'll see you guys back next time. Thanks. Cheers. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you have any questions on any of this stuff, give me a call. Happy to help. And I hope you found this review really, really worth your while. And the Bilstein shocks are amazing. Definitely a totally different quality level. And then these accessories are really good to have when you're doing the shock setup. If you have any questions, give me a call. Best reach phone number is 702-472-3614. We'll see you guys next time.